Hi, it's Lori from loristory.com. Today I want to show you how to make this happy birthday star shaker card. I thought this would be a fun card to make for the guys in our life. I don't know about you, but the hardest cards for me to make are masculine cards. So let's get started. First thing we need to do is create new project. We're going to go to Insert Images. We're going to change this to My Image Sets. And we're going to type in Craft Room, two separate words. This will take us to the Cricut Craft Room Basics cartridge, which is free to everyone, whether you have a subscription or not. We want to grab this star and this rectangle and insert image. We're going to need one more thing, and that will be an SVG that I provided for you. There will be a link to download the SVG below the video. So we're going to go grab that SVG. We'll go to Upload Image. It's a vector upload. You're going to browse. And wherever you saved it, I saved it to my desktop. It's the birthday banner SVG. And click Open. You can tag it here if you want. Save image. We're going to click on it and insert image. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is size that way down, just so we can get it out of our way. We'll put that over here for later. We're going to put the star over here for later, and we're going to start with this rectangle. The first thing I notice about this rectangle when it's selected is I look over here in the layers panel and I see that there is a shadow layer. So let's turn that shadow layer on. Let's right click on this rectangle and ungroup. And now let's just move that shadow layer over here for now. Okay, now we're going to click on this rectangle. The first thing I'm going to do is copy, paste. Okay, we'll set that one right there. Click on one of them. We're going to go to the Edit panel. And we're going to unlock Keep Proportions. We're going to make this 4.25 by 5.5. Let's switch over to our Layers panel where it's selected, and I'm going to make this green. I'll do that green. Okay. Now we can set this aside for the moment. Let's grab this one. And we're going to go to the Edit panel. And we're going to make this a 1/4 inch smaller. So let's unlock Keep Proportions. Let's make this 4.00 by 5.25. We're going to click on the layer in the Layers panel and change it to white. And that's all we need. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is grab our star, and we're going to copy, paste. We're going to set one copy aside. We're going to grab this star, right click, move to front, and we're going to turn it slightly, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. And I want it to set about like that. And my star is right now 2.58 by 2.46. Whatever looks good to you, there's no magic number here. And I think that's about where I want it. Okay, if we look over in the Layers panel, we see that this star has also a shadow layer. What we want to do is right-click, ungroup, leave everything right where it is. And while this shadow layer is still turned off, I'm going to grab this star, I'm going to hold my Shift key, and I'm going to grab the card base. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to slice. Okay, without moving anything, let's turn on the shadow layer. Let's move this piece out that we cut. We turned on the shadow layer, and we want that shadow layer to be on the top. So let's click on it, arrange, move to front. So now that's on the front of our card base. We are going to go over here in the layers panel and click on the scissors of the black star, and we're going to change that to right. Okay, now we want that to right there on the cardstock, right where it is. And if you want, you can change this to a color. Let's do the sage. Now we want to keep that outline right there on that card, and so we have to attach it, and that will tell the Cricut that we want that to draw right on that piece of paper. So we're going to select that outline, and we're going to hold our shift key, and we're going to select the card base. Make sure they're both selected, and then we're going to attach. Okay, so now we have that perfectly lined up, and what's going to happen is that's going to set on top of the card like this. Okay, now since this is a shaker card, we're going to cut out a layer in Fun Foam. And in order to do that, we need to take this white layer and we need to copy and paste. This is the piece we're going to cut out in Fun Foam. Since we're cutting this out in Fun Foam and it's going to be layered between, we don't need this outline. So I'm just going to turn that off on that layer. Okay, I'm also going to click on it, and I'm just going to change this to some random color just to remind me that this is my Fun Foam layer. And what's going to happen is the green will be the base of the card, and then the Fun Foam layer will go in. So let's move that backwards. So the Fun Foam layer will fit right here, and then the white layer is going to go over the top. Okay, so now we're left with these stars. We're going to click on this one. We're going to move it down a little bit, and I'm just going to change mine to blue. And that's behind, so let's right click, move to front. And that's going to set something like that. Here we have the shadow layer and the base layer. So we're going to turn on the shadow layer. I'm going to right click and ungroup. Now we have two more stars. We can duplicate. Actually, I don't like this one because it's got rounded edges. So I'm going to delete that one. Take this one and we'll duplicate it. Okay, so we can make this whatever color we want. Let's go, I'll do a green one. And those are going to set, we'll arrange them here in a second. And I think I'll just leave that one brown. Okay, now we are left with this Happy Birthday SVG. First thing we want to do is right click, ungroup. And we're going to select this banner. Over in the layers panel, click on it and turn it to white. Now this birthday I want to make a different color, and I think I want to print this in the blue color. So I'm going to click on it and I'm going to go over here to sync, and I'm going to move this red layer down to the blue layer. And now I'm going to take this layer and I'm going to flatten it. All right, and then we're going to move it on top of this banner, and I'm actually going to put it closer to this right edge than that end because I'm going to end up cutting that off. So I'm going to select both of those, and I'm going to flatten that again. And you can just delete this. Okay, and this is going to fit on our card something like this. And I'm going to cut that edge off, but I don't want to do that until I'm sure how it's going to fit on my card. once I get all my layers on there. Now I did forget to grab one other thing while we were in Insert Images, so let's go over to Insert Images and hit back. Let's go to All Images, and I'm going to type in banner. And you can grab any banner you want. I'm going to grab this one. Is from Bits and Pieces, and it's part of the subscription. Insert. Okay, now this comes in 2 layers, and I want it to match my card. So I am again going to go over to the sync button while it's selected, and I'm going to change this pink layer to the blue, and I'm going to change this teal color to the other green. That looks pretty good. Now while it's selected, I'm going to flatten it. This is going to make a print then cut banner, and I think it's going to fit somewhere something like this. I'm going to put the happy birthday one on top, arrange, move to front. Somehow I'm going to have those kind of just layer like that. And then we can add these stars wherever we want. Move to front. Select the other one. Move to front. And you can kind of size these to your liking. Maybe having a bigger one. That one, move to front. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you can select these, and instead of going up here to arrange, move to front, move to back, you can also right click, and you have move backward, move forward, move to front. That one's already on top, so in case you were wondering how I was doing that. And that's it. That's our card. One other thing we're going to need is a piece of acetate or clear plastic. You can use plastic off of your packaging. I use overhead transparencies. But you need that cut down to 5.00 by 3.75 inches. And that's going to be the window to our shaker card. So let's cut this out. Okay, one last thing I noticed before we hit go is we still have this black shadow layer that we don't need that's showing up in our colors. So you can either just turn that off or you can delete it. I'm just going to turn it off for now. We don't need that. So let's hit go. And the first thing that's going to come up is our print and cut. And that looks good. If we want to rearrange these things, we can. And I think they look good. There's everything looks good, so we'll hit print and continue. And this is going to bring me up to the print and cut screen to get this ready for my printer. So I'm going to hit OK. I'm printing to my DeskJet, and I like to change it to brochure matte and change this to best and hit print. Okay, and now we're on our cut screen, so we are going to select our device. We're going to load our print and cut on our mat. Going to check our setting and put it on cardstock. And press go. Going to detect our registration marks. Okay, and this is my fun foam layer. Here's my fun foam. I'm going to load that. Actually, I'm going to put my deep blade in. You can cut this with the regular blade. I did that yesterday, but I do think it cuts a little bit better with the deep blade. I'm going to load that in. And make sure it's stuck down really good. Hit load. I'm going to turn this over to custom. Over here in the software, we're going to switch this down to craft foam. Change the software to craft foam and hit go. It's telling me to load the sage pen. I'm going to open the A accessory, put my finger lightly on the bottom, press till it clicks, and close, and hit go. Okay, it's time to assemble. First, I started by taking an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock and cutting it in half lengthwise and folding that in half. This will be our card base. Next, I took the green piece and the foam piece. I turned the foam piece over and applied adhesive all around the back. You want to make sure you get the adhesive all around the borders of the star so that your shaker pieces don't fall out. Next, we'll adhere the foam piece to the center of the green piece. Next, you want to add your shaker pieces. I use sequins. Next, we're going to apply the transparency over the piece of foam. And again, you want to make sure you put adhesive all around the edges of the star. Next, we'll apply the white front cover over the adhesive, or the transparency rather. And then we'll apply this entire shaker part to the front of our card base. Now I'm just deciding where I want to put the banners. I'm going to adhere the polka dot one down straight to the card base, and I'm going to use a little foam adhesive to apply the happy birthday banner. And then you can place your stars however you want. I popped a couple of them up with foam adhesive. Next, I applied a little bit of adhesive. This is a multi-matte medium, but you can use any kind of adhesive. I just put some on a scrap piece of cardstock. I'm using my quick stick to dip the sequins into the adhesive and apply them to the front of the card. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and thanks so much for watching.